Well, hello. This is David McElroy for David McElroy and Susan Stageman Consulting. We welcome you to a presentation of the perfect client, attracting people with whom you want to do business. How to get more of what you want and less of what you don't. Because we believe that you can make more money in less time with a lot less stress. It's really important that you pay attention to what results you're getting and what things are bringing those results so that you can be in control of where your business goes. Let's take a look at what's going to be in our course today. We're going to talk about attraction, law of attraction. We've probably heard about that before. A lot of books have been written on that. We're going to talk about synchronicity, how things fit together, things that appear to be a happenstance, how you can actually direct the synchronicity in your life. We're going to talk about testing for results, setting goals, values and standards, core values for you and for your company. We're going to look at core identity, things that values are tied to your vision of your business and the future. We're going to have a personal mission statement developed with you, and that's going to tie into your business mission statement. We're going to look at keys to a perfect client, description of the perfect client, and you have that information inside you. We're going to help you bring it out today. We're going to have an exercise to help you do so. We're going to sharpen your intuition. We're going to help you create chance encounters, and we're going to use intuition building exercises to increase the chance of chance encounters. So you're going to start controlling your future, your destiny, and your acquisition of clients. So let's start with attraction. What exactly is attraction? What is the law of attraction? And how does it relate to you and your business? All of nature strives to organize into relationships. There are natural things that occur over which we appear not to have any control. But what we do have control over is what we pay attention to. Attraction is the organizing principle of the universe. That's why honeybees are attracted to flowers, why you are attracted to certain people, why they are attracted to you. Attraction can be the building blocks to create and maintain relationships. It amazes me how careless people are in their attraction strategies, that they continually attract people with whom they have stressful, troubling relationships, which means to me that they're not paying attention. The idea is to learn as you go, to refine your skills, to attract the quality and kind of people to you that you enjoy being with. And I guess an aside to that is as you evolve and become as a person, you will naturally attract a higher quality of individual to you. You attract what you think about. So what you focus on has to do with what you notice, what you recognize, and what you believe to be true. Synchronicity. Coincidental occurrence of events that seem related but cannot be explained through conventional wisdom or causality. Flow is to create harmony within you and around you. We've got other modules in this course about becoming or learning how to access a flow state. And in a flow state, you wish to be challenged enough to keep you interested without being challenged too much so it becomes stressful and you feel that you can't accomplish the task. If you are challenged at too low a level, it becomes boring. What you want is that sweet spot in between where you're challenged just enough to draw you forward and keep you intrigued. So let's do some consideration about testing. Where are you now? What kind of clients are you attracting now? What is the quality of your business life or your personal life for that matter, because they do coincide, don't they? How do you attract clients and customers? Does it happen by accident? Do you even know? Are they by referral? Are they by design? Let's take a closer look at that for you. Are your clients preferred by list of criteria, or do you just take anyone that has money? Boy, I can tell you, I have built businesses both ways. When I first built my mortgage business, I did direct cold calling solicitation back 30 plus years ago, and I just barged into real estate offices and pushed my way past the receptionist at the front desk and just would talk to anybody who would talk to me. And I took loans from anybody that would refer me one. And in about 6 weeks, I developed one large book of business. Unfortunately, because I had an indiscriminate criteria and method for generating business, a lot of that business was hugely stressful, low quality, and it made the beginning of my mortgage career very challenging. Or is there somewhere in between? Can you do a combination of both? It's about give and take. Do you make compromises to make someone happy with your product or services? And when we say compromises, we're not suggesting that you draw a line in the sand and say to somebody, it's my way or the highway. But is there a balance between a giving and taking where you show some flexibility for the right clients and you steer away from the wrong clients who have onerous considerations and make your life miserable? In fact, in the old 80-20 rule, which you've heard about before, the Pareto principle, what you will find is that you spend 80% of your time on the clients that generate 20% of your income. And conversely, you spend 20% of your time on 80% of your income. Wouldn't it make sense to do something about that so that you're spending an increasing amount of time on where the highest amount of income is derived, which would do what? It would free up your time and improve the quality of your life. How to work less, make more money, and have a lot more fun. Less in terms of hours. Are some of your clients more trouble than they are worth? Well, of course they are. Do you listen to your intuition when you consider working with somebody? Have you ever had that experience in business where you meet someone, you start getting dollar signs in your eyes, the signs of them being someone that's not a match for you are there. You take them anyway because you want the business, and then next thing you know, every time you see their number on your caller ID or your secretary or receptionist says that they're on the other line, you get that gut-wrenching feeling like, oh, crap, I don't want to talk to that person. Well, let's talk about how you design your business so that that's not the case. What are your goals? To attract the perfect customers to reduce the inner voice warnings. So you get a warning when you meet somebody. You have a sixth sense. We're going to talk about developing that to a higher level so that it will serve you. There is an abundance of clients that you can have. There's an infinite number of clients that you can have. There are more clients than you have time to help. If you get busy helping the wrong clients, you are busy. You're very busy, and what happens if you have the wrong clients, they're not pleasant to deal with. You get this bad feeling that there's something wrong with your work, and it makes you non-productive because you relate having a client to having heartache. Let's change that. You want to have more energy to serve customers with whom you can share a balanced, mutual, beneficial relationship, and you have to do that by design. Values, standards, synchronicity, and flow. Have a clear mission and stay on purpose. I can't tell you the number of business people with whom I consult that when I ask them what is their purpose for being in business is very fuzzy. They don't really know. And so it's impossible for them to stay on purpose, and they get lost in an accidental business being built around them that they find distasteful, stressful. It brings stress home to the wife and the family, or the husband and the family, depending upon whether you are either or. And the quality of life is low, and even if the income is high, I've been there before, high income, low quality of life because of stress, it's because you're working with the wrong people. Here's a test. Do you have a clear mission statement? What would a clear mission statement look like? What is the purpose of your company? What are you wanting to deliver to your clients? It's our goal, Susan's and mine, to help people find clarity, to help them align their inner, deepest, most goals and desires with their business, and then deliver those goals and desires in their business to the right people so that they have a quality life. It can be done. And it's done by design, not by accident. Are you suppressing your own needs to keep your business alive? Oh man, I have done that before. I can remember periods of time when I was netting $100,000 to $250,000 in 1 month. more money in 1 month than anyone in my family had ever made in a number of years in a row, sometimes as much as 10 years. And I was suppressing my feelings, my needs in order to build my business. And I was always grumpy. I was always short-tempered with people. And what ultimately happened is I just couldn't keep it up anymore. So do you feel like you're doing an uphill battle trying to roll a rock up the side of a mountain? It means there's something wrong with the way you're operating your business. Are you easily swept along towards your goals? Does that mean that it's fun? It's not like you're in a rapids where you're banging up against rocks that are in the stream as you go along, but it means that you are drawn in, that there's a flow state. You're excited about what you do. Do you love what you're doing? Are you focused on short or long-term gains? Often I see business people that are so panicked about getting a deal that they have no criteria of focus for who they will take as a client. What happens is they get caught up in short-term goals, just trying to stay in business. They never get a chance to build a long-term gain, and they live a life of frantic up and downs, of just trying to keep from going out of business. That's why 80% of most businesses fail, depending on the statistics you look at or from whom you get them, in the first 12 to 36 months. After 10 years, 96% of all businesses have failed. Why is that? Poor planning. You have to have a clear mission. A business with a clear mission is an attractive business. If you are clear on who you are, and if you work on yourself, and we have other modules in our courses to help you do just that, so that you can become the best person that you can possibly be, and then the next step is to go out and attract the best clients you can possibly have at the highest possible profit margins, and it can be done by design. Core values. Your organization's sense of character and integrity. This needs to be aligned with your core values. If your company's values, or for those of you that work for someone else other than yourself, you will find that you feel alienated if your company's values are diametrically opposed to yours. If the way that they treat clients or tell you to treat clients is against your grain, you're not going to be happy, and your clients are going to sense that. For what does your business stand? What are your standards? What are your core values? Core values never change, even if your business does. Core values are so important, and other parts in this course can help you determine your core values, help you write them down, help you articulate them. We're not going to go into as much depth in this as we do in other modules. That's what those modules are for. Core identity. What is your core identity? Who am I? Who am I? Who am I? When you think about yourself, who do you think you are? Answer that question for yourself. What are your core values? Is it freedom? Is it integrity? Is it honesty? Is it hard work? What are your core values? Examples: integrity, dedication, humor, commitment, honesty, service, leadership, spirituality, joyfulness. The list goes on. You come up with your own. Pick 3 that are your most important core values. How do you know which ones they are? Because when you say them, you can define them, and they give you that certain feeling that yes, this is me. Use your 3 most important core values in a personal mission statement. My personal mission is to ensure that I bring the most efficient service that I am capable of rendering at the highest possible quantity and the greatest possible quality into everything that I do. There's just an example. I'm not suggesting that that should be yours. In fact, that comes from something that I say to myself every day in my personal wealth accumulation statement that I have written on my mirror and on my closet and on my walls, that I say just before I go to sleep at night and when I first wake up in the morning. I'm so used to doing it, I do it as I am in my twilight sleep on either end of the day. Use this personal mission statement to be the basis of your business mission statement. So we're talking about aligning who you are with what you do so that you get some power in that alignment. It's very difficult for you to think and feel one thing and try to behave or act in another way. If you do that through discipline, forcing yourself to do things you don't want to do over time, what happens is it becomes exhausting, and eventually you might become resentful, or at the very least, people will sense that you're not in alignment, and it will be hard for you to attract the right people. Mission statement, business mission statement. Your business mission statement should be aligned with your core values. That's why it's so important that you get in touch with your core values. As I mentioned before, we have entire modules helping you to do just that. I recommend you refer to those if you need some help in that area. When your business and personal core values are aligned, you attract energy. Your attraction energy is stronger. That is, it's for those of you that are golfers, when your swing is aligned properly, you get huge leverage with a golf club, and it drives that ball down the fairway. For those of you that are dancers, maybe if you're a ballroom dancer, it's probably a smaller subset. When you have the right techniques and you're lined up with your partner, dancing is easy. For those of you that maybe play an instrument like a guitar, like I do, when you are playing music that you enjoy, your expression is far deeper, more wonderful, and attracts other people to it than it is when you're playing things that you don't care for. Write your business mission statement. Write it down now. You can pause this and write it down. Developing keys to a perfect client. What qualities do you find attractive in people? What you will notice is that people you enjoy are people that can be your best clients. Consider people in your world. What perfect qualities do you find in them? What things do you like about people? Do you like that sense of humor? Do you like someone that reacts well under stress? Do you like someone that's cheap, that thinks everything is worth nothing and that people are commodities? I know I don't. I prefer to be on the end of the scale for people that appreciate value. I would rather deliver Maserati, Ferrari, or Lamborghini, or Mercedes, or BMW results to people that prefer quality than to go and try to be Walmart. Is there a place for both in the world? Of course. I just don't like the Walmart end of the world. No disrespect to anyone that works there. And I shop there sometimes. But when it really comes down to quality, I like quality instruments, quality clothing, quality cars, quality places to live. And I like quality people as well. Keys to the perfect client. Instead of making a list of qualities or criteria for your perfect client, let's develop a mental model of that client in all three sensory channels. What are sensory channels? Well, those are your internal sight, your hearing, your sensations, your emotions, taste and smell. Music can bring out so many deep memories because it hits you at such a deep emotional level. So some people are stronger or more comfortable in a visual sense. They think of terms visually. Some people tie things together hearing. Some people do it by how they feel. All of these are tied into emotions. And what are emotions? Emotions are chemical reactions that take place in your body because of a process in your brain that cause the release of adrenaline, the release of endorphins, and it gives you a bodily sensation that we give names to those sensations. We call it being excited, being depressed, being anxious. Those are names that we give to feelings that are emotions, but really what are they? They're chemical reactions in our body that's giving us a sensation. Then let's create a work environment or a work group that's perfect for you. Description of the perfect client. Some of my clients have been kind of immature, as I have been in my career, so I thought it'd be funny to have this little baby sitting in a chair. So let's sit down and imagine that the perfect client is facing you in the chair opposite of you. Just take a moment and imagine that. What does that client look like? Just make it up, or maybe think of a client that you already know, and someone that you really enjoy, and put them in the chair across from you, and imagine finding more like them. Look closely and notice how they are dressed, their facial expressions. Until now, you might not have paid attention to those things, but you've been taking this information in at an unconscious level. And your attraction and your attraction strategies are all learned and practiced behaviors. And if you're getting less of what you want and would like to get more of what you like, then I suggest that you slow down for a minute now in this exercise and start recognizing and noticing the quality and kinds of things that are attached to people who you enjoy. When and where did you meet them? Did you meet them in a nightclub? Did you meet them at a business mixer? Did you meet them at church? Did you meet them at a political rally? Did you meet them at a charitable event? How'd you come to meet them? Did they come by referral? If so, from who? How were you introduced? How does this person treat you? What positive qualities, attributes, and talents does this person have? Let's think about that for a moment. Are they attractive physically? Or is that really not? Do they have such a great sense of humor that it always lifts you? Are they creative? Are they imaginative? Are they interesting? Are they educated? Are they coarse and crude? What are they? What are they to you? Here, they always thank you. Oh, that's nice. Have you ever appreciated being thanked? I know I do. They always return your phone call. Have you ever been ignored by somebody? I know that I used to be that way. I used to be so busy I didn't return phone calls unless I thought I could make money off of the person. And that left a very empty, shallow life for me. So, do they place large orders? Do your favorite clients place large orders? Do they always smile and have a good word for you? Are they always on time if you have an appointment with them? Do they book appointments every week? Do they refer others? Do they have a sense of humor? It doesn't matter. You make up your own list. This is just one that we gave you for examples. For what reasons do you enjoy serving them? Have you ever asked yourself that question? Why do I enjoy serving Bob or Ted or Janice or whoever it is? Have you ever asked yourself that question? Why is that fulfilling for you? Why is it less fulfilling to serve others? On a piece of paper, on side 1, let's write this. My ideal client is, your ideal client is what? You fill in the blank with whatever you want there. List all the positive qualities, characteristics, attributes, talents, or 5 top qualities you want him or her to possess. So what are those now? What are those qualities? Think about the clients that you have, and here's what I think you'll probably recognize. The clients with whom you make the most money, there's some exceptions, will be those people that you enjoy the most that have the greatest attitude. The clients with whom you make the least amount of money take the most amount of your time and give you very little in return. That's the way life is. But when you are looking for people, low-quality people are easy to attract because nobody wants to be with them. High-quality people take some work because they need to see through discernment that you are high quality. Well, that takes an investment of time and consideration. You are judged by the company you keep. So if you run around and indiscriminately do business with anybody, date anybody, marry anybody, have sex with anybody, whatever the case would be, well, then you're going to be judged by your carelessness. Let's be discreet. Let's be reasonable. Let's look for the qualities that we want in a person, and let's rise ourselves up to that standard so that we demonstrate those qualities. Is there anything you'd like this person to change? You want more sales from people that you're having fun with? Well, maybe you need to pay more attention to them. I don't know. Let's talk about possibilities. You want them to visit your website? You want them to spend more money? Attracting the perfect client. Let's go on with the exercise. How many perfect clients do you want? 1, 2, 50, 100? Depends on your business model. Let's think about that. How many perfect clients could you handle? What I would suggest to you is that if you decided today, immediately now, that you're going to replace all your bad client, with good clients, if you did this over a period of time, let's say you divided your client list into 3 sections. Those you'd like to get rid of, those you might like to transition or change, and then those you'd like to retain. In the transition or change group, there may be some that if you paid the right attention to them, you can make them into ideal clients. And then there's those that you want to get rid of. You should probably get rid of some portion of your clients each year because they've changed or you've changed or they take more work than they're worth or they're too cheap in what they're willing to pay for what you get or whatever the case would be. But you want to do it consciously. write down the number at the bottom of side 1 of this page. How many clients would that be? Make it up. Put something down there. Keep a short version of this side with you so that you can add to your list. Put it on the back of a business card maybe and put it in your wallet so you can carry it with you and be reminded always so that you keep it in your conscious consideration. Long-term perfect clients are attracted and maintained through relationships which go beyond business. You might say, I don't have time to do that. The reason that you don't is you have too many of the wrong clients. That's why we want to go through a process where you decide to rid yourself of those clients that are not a good match for you, that are low profit, that are complainers, and replace them with higher quality clients so you have more time. I can guarantee you, a quality of life is much superior when you choose clients with whom you want to do business, who buy a lot from you, that give you high margins of profit, and then spend time to make sure you keep those clients. Because what? High quality people is just like an attractive mate. If you have an attractive mate that's in good physical condition, that has a great sense of humor, that's pretty or handsome, that's fun to be around, and you start ignoring them, what do you think will happen in time? Somebody else will pay attention to them, and over time, depending upon the personal motivation of that individual, you will lose their attention to somebody else. Questions to develop strong relationships with your perfect clients. What makes you get out of bed in the morning? Who is your most important person in the world? What is the most important to you in the world? What do you want to achieve before you die? What's your bucket list? What do you love about your life? Write these things down. Don't be careless. Get to know these people and cater to their wants and needs. If they're worth knowing, they're worth serving. And this goes on side 2 of the page that we started in the previous part of the exercise. What is at least one of your motivators? So what motivates them? What gets them to do something? What gets you to do something? Find out what that is and use it to motivate them to do more business with you. Here is side 3. So you got 2 sides of the paper that you have filled up. Now we're going to look at expectations and deliverables of service on page 3 or side 3. What are you expected to do for your perfect client? So what level of service are you to deliver to maintain a relationship with a perfect client? And I'll tell you something else. Perfect clients refer you other perfect clients. Birds of a feather flock together. Have I said that already in this presentation? Well, the reason that those old adages are around, they're old saws, is because they are true. If you want more perfect clients, you get them generally from your perfect client or from the same watering hole. What does your perfect client want and expect you to provide? List products and services that you choose and want to provide your clients. What do they need? As you get to know them, you will know what they need, and it will present cross-selling opportunities. It is much easier to sell clients that know you and trust you additional quality products and services than it is to go to a stranger. It is much less expensive to sell to the client that knows you. However, the majority of businesses spend almost all of their time chasing after people that don't know them instead of building relationships with those that do, which makes their advertising budgets extremely high, their ROI, return on investment for advertising, extremely low. And what's happened in our competitive world is television, radio, newspapers, web advertising, Google AdWords, and all those types of marketing campaigns have gotten increasingly more difficult because the world is so segmented with advertising media. I did a huge amount of advertising on television and radio back probably almost 30 years ago now, and I was spending $50,000 a month on television and radio. And we made a fortune. That was back when I was making $100,000, $250,000 in some of the sweet months net after expenses. Well, what's happened, I went back to look at doing television and radio for a real estate venture I've been working on, and the cost had tripled, and the penetration rate, the pull-through rate, had gone down by about 2/3. So triple the cost and 1/3 the result makes it difficult to make some models work. So we decided to go another direction. Make the list detailed from an advertising strategy to location. So you want to think about, where am I going to advertise? I already mentioned several. Do ad campaigns work? I've been working on search engine optimization, a much misunderstood part of internet marketing. I can tell you, when you understand that form of marketing, it is one of the most cost-effective ways to generate leads. But it takes work. It takes work to study it and understand it, cut through the din, find out what Google wants, and get your sites to show up on page 1 of Google. Is it worth it? You bet. Does it take money, time, and energy? You bet it does. But so does everything. So what I suggest is that you find advertising medias at work. We have courses in designing success strategies, a property that Susan and I own, that can help you master and perfect that. We also do private consulting, one-on-one basis, for companies that want to delve deeply into making their marketing more effective. Here's some examples. Provide fair prices, have a profitable business, be courteous. Of course, they want you to have a website, don't they? Return phone calls within a reasonable length of time. These are things that your ideal clients will expect from you. Have an efficient way to take phone calls. You know, there's nothing more irritating. It happens to me often where I'm trying to reach someone and talk to them, and I can't reach them. I get their voicemail all the time, and it takes them a day or two or sometimes never to call me back. Well, that's not a way to build a relationship with somebody. What that means to me is they're indiscriminate with whom they do business. I am willing to spend large amounts of money on marketing and other resources for the right person. I need to see I'm getting results, and then I need to stay in communication. As I spend more and more, as I move back towards spending $50,000 a month on marketing and advertising, that's the direction I'm taking my firms now, then those people that pay attention to me, find out what I want, and help me are going to be those that I'm going to do business with. So communication on a regular basis is powerful. Be available. I can't tell you the impact it had on my real estate business. My real estate business had kind of fallen off as I was focused on building other properties. And I did nothing other than start taking phone calls as they came in from my marketing, taking them personally, just talking with people. And all of a sudden, overnight, my business exploded. It went up, and I didn't really spend any more time on it. I just spent a little bit of time talking to people, which made my advertising dollars start to give me a good return on investment. So make sure that you are providing what they want. Let's sharpen your intuition. The word intuition comes from the Latin intuir, I-N-T-U-I-R. I think that's the proper pronunciation, which appropriately means knowledge from within. Intuition is having knowledge immediately. It's that sense that you know the right thing to do. Having intuition creates a state of harmony. It's natural. It's effortless. It unfolds in your life. Synchronicity of events. What happens is that over the course, probably starting in childhood, we begin to lose touch with our intuition. We begin to doubt ourselves. Often, our educational system here in the United States is based on a draconian style of education to train people to be bureaucrats, a Victorian style. At the time that it was created, the world was filled with a bureaucracy, and it cranked out through its educational system bureaucrats that could fit into that machine. Well, the world has changed. The world has changed, yet our educational system is still cranking out bureaucrats who need to follow a specific set of guidelines laid out by a third party and believe that if they march to those rules, they'll be all right. Well, the facts are this. Over the course of your career, if you're a young person, you're probably going to have 10 or 12 different career fields and multiple jobs therein. The world has changed. It's important to get back in touch with your intuition so that you can use your natural strengths to have a quality life and create synchronicity of events in your favor. There's much more with our intuition. The more we use our intuition, the more we get in touch with it, and the greater the accuracy. It just is. There are no feelings in intuition. I think sometimes we think there's feelings in intuition is because when we get an intuitive thought, what can happen is we can say, that's it. So an idea pops into your mind and you say, it just is. This is it. I know what to do. Now, in sharpening your senses, seeing, hearing, feeling, but we do all of them in varying degrees. Some of us favor different channels that we, since childhood, have developed and used more, so we've gotten stronger in those areas. So let's take a break here for a moment. Let's do an exercise. With your eyes closed, there you go. You can put your finger in your eye, but you don't have to. With your eyes closed, recall a time when you were in your office with a client. Go ahead and do that now. Just take a moment and just listen to me and listen to my voice and recall a time when you were in your office with a client. To what did you pay attention? What were you looking at? How they were dressed? Did you notice their shoes? Did you notice if it was a guy, whether they were shaved or not, or if it was a girl, whether they needed shaving? Did it look like they needed a haircut? Did they have a smile on their face? Did they have an accusing look? You tell me. This is your most preferred system. So I just described visual. So if visual is your system, this would have felt comfortable for you. If you are visual, notice what you see. If you are auditory, notice what you hear. If you are kinesthetic, notice what you feel. Any one of them is the place to start. Whatever you feel comfortable with, we want to start there, and then we're going to branch out from there and help you improve your skills in the other areas. Are you paying attention? Are you awake? Are you conscious? Are you deciding for yourself the direction you want your business and your life to go? Let's start sharpening your skills. Those are knife sharpeners, just to make sure you know what that is down in the lower right-hand corner. Okay, let's be in the room with your eyes open now. Start with your most comfortable system. So if that's visual, start with what you see. If it's auditory, start with what you hear. If it's kinesthetic, start with what you feel. So whether you observe or listen or sense the room, that sense, that feeling, doesn't matter. Let's start with one of them. See, hear, or feel. Now, let's use another system. So as you go through this exercise, pause the tape if you have to, and experiment with this. It's easy and it's simple. The more you do it, the more comfortable it gets. I know what you're saying. You don't have time for this, but I'm suggesting this. The reason you think you don't have time for it is because you didn't realize until now the profound impact this will have on you making more money in less time and having a lot more fun with low stress. As you listen to my voice, you begin to realize that you can change and transform yourself very easily. You've come here today and are listening and learning at a very deep level. And as you go through this material and it begins to propagate in your life, you're going to notice subtly, maybe at first, maybe profoundly, but over time, the transition and change in your life that is making you the person you always dreamed of being and attracting the clients that you've always desired for the quality of life that you love and enjoy. So spend 3 minutes in another area. So if you started visual, then just spend 3 minutes. Maybe use an egg timer or a timer on your desk, or if you do this with somebody else, have them tell you when 3 minutes passes. And just for a moment, think about what you hear when you are around this client. Move to the last system. So whichever of the 3 you have remaining, move to that. If it's feeling, and if you're not comfortable with feelings, that's okay. That's okay. It doesn't have to be something you're good at when you first start. In fact, there is not one thing that I am good at that I started out by being good at it. Everything I started out by being awkward and poor, and some things I got better at and some less so good. But it doesn't matter. You're going to always use your favored system. The reason we want you to track over into your less favored systems is to start expanding your horizon now. And as you do that, you're going to sharpen your skills in developing your senses. So let's spend 3 minutes on this last area. Stop the tape and do that. If you're down to feeling, then just start to notice what you feel. In fact, start out by noticing you feel nothing, if that's the way it is for you. But as you say nothing, it's impossible to feel nothing, so there is something you're feeling. So what is it? You're feeling that you're breathing heavier? Maybe. Is it that you notice a warm feeling in your stomach? Maybe. Is it that you notice the feeling of your bottom sitting against the chair? Or is it that you notice your feet tapping against the floor while you're looking at this person? Whatever it is, it is. Let's just have fun with this. There's no wrong way to do this. So you needn't criticize. Let's enjoy. It's all fun. Making money is fun. Let's let it be fun. Now, repeat the exercises we just went through 3 times each. So write them down, practice them, do it daily. It won't take you 15 minutes a day will profoundly change your life starting today. Do it. Does it seem awkward? Well, maybe it does, but that's good. See, that's a sign you're trying something different, which means you're going to have profound change just around the corner. Enter it with the eyes of a child, as if you had no reason to do something other than curiosity. Start with a familiar place, and then go to an unfamiliar place. Practice this daily, just a few minutes. Would it be worth 15 minutes a day to double your income? Would it be worth it? Would it be worth 15 minutes a day for the next 90 days to improve the quality of your life and replace the clients with whom you find disfavor with those that you enjoy? Would it be worth 15 minutes a day? I can't answer that for you. You answer it for yourself. So, what did you learn from this exercise? What did you just start to notice? We're talking about being aware. Be aware of your senses, of your feelings, of your clients. Of what are you aware now? Events and chance meetings seemingly happen by coincidence for no apparent reason. Has that ever happened to you before? Have you ever just bumped into someone by accident and it seemed like it was fortuitous? Right place, right time. Be in the right place at the right time increases your chance of chance meetings. What we just suggested is that you can actually decide ahead of time to put yourself in places where you're going to increase the probability of meeting the right people. I just finished writing a module about doing business by referral through affinity organizations. Thomas J. Stanley wrote a series of books. The most prominent known book in the series, written back in the early 90s, was The Millionaire Next Door. Very well-read, very popular bestseller at the time. What most people aren't aware of is he's got a series of several other books about selling to the affluent, networking with the affluent, and marketing to the affluent. The essence of all of these books, and he's not a salesman himself, he's actually a professor, and he's done a study of successful people who have built huge profitable businesses with affinity groups and wealthy people. And he discusses in great detail, or more correctly interviews in great detail, people who have done this as a natural course of business. I recommend those readings very highly, and I recommend our module on how to have high income selling. Powerful module. It has all the principles of Stanley built into it, and it's a great place for you to use a tool to build a huge business to put you in the right place at the right time. There are no coincidences. Coincidences increase. Take advantage of opportunities. Intuitive hunches, that feeling like something's about to happen. You're beginning to have that feeling now at a very deep level that something is changing, something important is happening, and you are about to have something fantastic occur. What are you just about to recognize? The very actions taken following that recognition will transform your life forever, making everything else easier or unnecessary. There's another great book that I took that from, or my paraphrase thereof, from the creator or starter or founder of Keller Williams. And the book is called The One Thing. I recommend it. It's an easy read. Came out maybe a year or so ago. Go ahead and do read that book. Talks about how focusing on one thing can change and transform your life. Expectations and looking on the positive side of events and situations. Attitude, right? Other intuition building exercises. Consider a situation or person from a different point of view. Make educated guesses about events and people, and then check for facts. What we're talking about is the practice of refining your intuition. Intuitions. The development of these subtle feelings that are happening all the time inside of you that you started to recognize again today as you're listening to this course. First, a little bit at a time, maybe so subtle that it was hard to recognize. But as you go through this course, you will begin to recognize more and more, and things will come up from a deeper level. And so what we want you to do is test through exercise. Take guesses, educated guesses. You might be correct, you might be in error, but you're going to adjust when you are in error for facts as they come forward, and you will refine this skill and become better as you go. Pay attention. Pay attention to your first thought, that first thought that comes to you when you're considering a decision or a problem. Write it down, because sometimes that first thought used to be fleeting, but now you're going to begin to remember it. You're going to write it down. You're going to expand on it. Let's bring back the intuition that you had years ago when you were in school, and let's put it to work for you to build your business. It's a natural part of you. We all have it. We all have creative capabilities. David Kelly, the founder of EDO Design, that did much of the design work for Apple computers. David Kelly has a book called Creative Confidence. And in that book, he talks about how he took engineers in his design school who thought they had no creativity and showed them that not only did they not have none, but indeed they had profound creativity. Well worth reading. Also a short, quick read. David Kelly, Creative Confidence. Practice daydreaming. Do you daydream ever? Huh? There's amazing things that come up when you free your mind to do so. Meditation. The difference between prayer and meditation, prayer is putting out requests to the universe or to God, depending upon your religious beliefs. Meditating is listening for answers. Just sitting still and quietly listening for answers. Pay attention to hunches. Those funny feelings that come along and you think there's something I should do. What is it? Well, pay attention to it. Dig into it. Learn to enjoy it. You have the magic of hunches built into you naturally as a human being. Memories, powerful. Here's an exercise. Remember a past memory or memories. Examine times when you followed your intuition or hunch when you were right on. Here's an exercise I might suggest. When you're standing in a lobby waiting for an elevator, and there's 4 or 5 elevator choices, capriciously pick which elevator you think is going to come. And if that is the correct choice, and that is the one that comes when the light pops on, pinch your right earlobe. And that is going to be an anchor that you're going to save up, pinching your right earlobe, of when you thought of something and it was right. And do that as often as you can for other events. When you are coming up to an intersection and the light is red and you're imagining it's going to turn green, and it does without you having to stop, then pinch your earlobe. There's another example of your intuition being right. Or when someone is talking with you and you think they're about to say something, when they say what it was you're thinking, pinch your right earlobe. You can do it subtly so people won't notice. And start building an anchor for when your intuitions are right. What will happen is you will build a huge anchor in your right earlobe, a feeling anchor, that you will be able to squeeze lightly, just like you did when you set that anchor, at some time in the future, and free up the doorway into your intuition. Pretty cool, huh? What was present that was absent when it didn't work? Now, this is something you might not know at first, but we're talking about discernment. Discernment comes with practice. Be easy on yourself. Slow down. Relax. Let the critic go to sleep now. Let the editor take a vacation and just start noticing subtle differences. The more you do this, the better you will get. The better you get, the easier it is. The greater your belief, the more powerful you will be as an intuition machine. Chance. Is life just capricious chance? How about increasing your chance of chance encounters? Meeting the right people, huh? Create and maintain a large, strong network of people. That's why I recommend that you look at our high income selling. It is about a 90-minute video piece that's in our Designing Success Strategies. It goes into huge detail on how to network and build a strong network of wealthy clients that can spend big dollars with you and your organization. It's a system you can put in place, take some time to deploy, maybe 18 to 24 months to really bring it to its peak. It'll make you money before that, but would it be worth 18 to 24 months working on that system to totally transform your business forever, making life easier, making wealth come to you in greater amounts and abundance than it ever has before? I don't know. I'll let you answer that question for yourself. Have a relaxed attitude toward life. What I want you to know is that you're a learning machine, that you are learning while we're going through this. And I don't know if you're like me, but what I usually do is go through something I want to learn multiple times. As I've been studying search engine optimization, SEO, how to end up on page 1 of Google with my websites, I've gone through the course materials that I bought probably 30 times by now. And each time I go through, I pick up something I didn't hear before. And I go back and refine what I'm doing. When you're learning something new, there are so many facts and details that come in at a subconscious level, an unconscious level, that they only bubble up to the conscious side as you revisit them. Or at least that's the way it is for me. That works for me. Have lots of new experiences. Boy, I remember when I was a boy, I had Jack the Frogman used to send me skin diving catalogs for his shop. And I used to write down how much of my allowance I would have to save in order to buy a diving tank, a regulator, which is the mouthpiece you put in so that you can breathe, and the fins and the snorkel and the wetsuit. Try new experiences. Try something different. Be open to new experiences. I tried ballroom dancing. I learned tango. Never really got to be very proficient at it, but it was an interesting experience just to learn and practice. I've learned so many new things just in this last year. I've been doing a mastermind group 3 days a week, 30 minutes in the morning for Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. The most widely referred to and read book by people who have become millionaires on the planet. I recommend it very highly. The issue that I've been reading was the original unabridged edition of Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill with foreword by Melvin Powers. I wanted to go back to the original edition written 77, 78 years ago so that I have the original text. And I noticed as I've gone through it and shared it with my mastermind group, I have recorded 3 days a week, 30 minutes, since January of 2014. And it looks like at the time of this recording, I will complete the first read of this with my group probably by July. So it will be 7 months of going through 30 minutes a day, 3 days a week. So there are literally hours and hours of material there that I will go back and review for the things that I uncovered. Because I don't just read the book only. I read and then share with the group thoughts and ideas that come to me. The essence of Designing Success Strategies, the course that Susan and I have released, is to practice and grow our skills in life and in business to become higher quality people and earn more as a result of that, which requires expanding your experiences. Listen to your intuition, your gut feelings, your hunches. Boost your intuition with practice. It takes practice. Be kind to yourself. Be kind to yourself. Start to practice today. You are already learning at a level that's beyond what you can comprehend. Free that. Free yourself. Move forward. Grow and become. Allow it to happen naturally, because it always does. Good fortune. Expect good fortune to continue in the future. That's the attitude you want to have. Do you think that it's prudent in order for you to wait for the other shoe to drop? I know some people that think that. They're always stressed out that good things will not continue. What I'm suggesting to you is that is a false representation of the truth. Attempt to achieve goals when the chances are slim. Well, who decided the chances are slim? That's a value judgment. So what I'm suggesting to you is just because something appeared to be difficult doesn't mean that you can't accomplish it. What it means is that you need some additional learnings to do so. Persevere even in the face of failure. One of the leading reasons I've been successful in as many things as I have is that I continue when it appears that it would make no reasonable sense to do so. I will push on when most people have surrendered. And I will come out eventually the other side having learned things that were only available to me because I stuck it out and pushed through. It's like running a marathon. If you get a side ache when you're running a marathon and you're in the 25th mile of a 26-mile race and you stop, you'll never know what you will learn by running that last mile. Run that last mile, get the strength and the victory of getting there, regardless of where you placed in the pack, and you will have accomplished something that will move you forward in life and in business. Do things for the experience. Concern yourself not to the quality of placement that you get, but that you took an experience and grew within it. Bad luck? Positive? It's all attitude. Turn bad luck into good by seeing the positive side of things. So how could that be possible? I've had business failures, but in those failures were the seeds of knowledge for other successes. I've had relationship failures, and each and every relationship that had failed, if I call it a failure of a relationship that I once had that now is no longer, because one or the other of us or both of us got interested in someone else or other people, yes, that hurt. Of course it hurt, particularly if they lost interest in me before I did in them. That is painful, but I learned from each of those relationships. If you learn, you can turn bad luck or misfortune, as you might call it at the time, into a learning experience that's positive to move forward. Believe things will work out for the best, because they always do. Let go of the past. Do it now. Take the learning and let the emotions drain out of it. Take the learning, the knowledge, and move it forward to your personal and business growth. Take steps to prevent bad luck in the future by planning better, because you are now what? Experienced. Here's some takeaways for you. Directed attention is an acquired skill. That's the whole point of this exercise, to teach you to pay attention to things that perhaps to this point you used to overlook but no longer do. Who you attract is the result of actions taken. If you are attracting clients that you consider to be less than ideal, well, look at where you're getting them and don't go there anymore. Look at where you got the ideal clients and go spend more time there. You determine your values. And once you determine what they are and get in touch with them, I recommend highly that you live your life by those values if you want to feel happy or fulfilled or any joy in your life, and that you build your company or your career around those values. You choose your clients. You choose your clients by your actions, and they are attracted to you by who you are, what you think, and what you believe. Superior results follow superior actions. This entire study that you have shared with us today is about you improving your results by improving your actions. You decide today, from this day forward, you will never be the same. You are evolving and changing as a person, and you are improving the possibilities every moment that you practice these techniques. To your success, my friends. This is David McElroy for Designing Success Strategies. On behalf of myself and Susan Stageman, I'd like to thank you for taking the time to share this course with us. I'd like to encourage you to go through it daily, to do the 15-minute exercise that I talked about to improve and strengthen and deepen your skills. I also encourage you to look at the rest of the courses in our portfolio of educational materials for peak performance, and that you grow and strengthen in yourself that person that will attract ideal clients. We've got a lot of cool modules that can help you get anything that you want. We look forward to seeing you in our courses, perhaps meeting you in person. Look for our webinars and our ongoing training and dedication to strategies for success. This is David McElroy. Thank you for your time. To your success.